Okay, so next shop project. My little PC-35. I bought this quite a few years ago, probably 10 years ago or something. And it was fairly worn out, so first thing I did when I bought it was get it repinned. All the bushings got replaced, with the exception of the bucket end. So this end I knew, I thought I was going to adapt it fairly quickly to a quick change rather than this pin-on bucket here. However, 10 years later, we never got around to it. So I just repinned this thing, repinned it. No, I rebushed it. Here's the bushings. So very simple. So we popped the bucket off, and I popped the arm off here too, the stick, and pressed out the bushings with my hydraulic press over there, and popped the new ones in. And the pins, of course, are still very worn, but the plan is to replace this and build a quick coupling attachment system, which will be the wedge bar type. So manual, you gotta get out and unbolt it and bolt it on, but anyway, better than what we got here. And so in the process, I also picked up, or actually I should say previously at a Ritchie Brothers auction, I did pick up some parts real cheap for a quick attach. However, under closer inspection, that's these things here, that one and that they're not going to work out. Their dimensions are all wrong. It's easier just to build a new one than to try and fight with this stuff here. These are kind of worn out a bit here too in those bores, so I'd have to rebush it anyway. So easier just to make a new one. Here's the bucket end of things. This one had been chopped off of something else and came along with the lot that I bought. So that's usable, almost. So I've started working on this. So here's the side plates, which correspond with those over there, sort of. That side? Yeah, that one. On this one here, they don't have the second bosses right there, so just the one set. And it locates with a bar that goes across right there. That's this bar here, which I wasn't super crazy about. I like the two sets of lugs on each side there. So that's what I've done with this here. So those are the plates there. Got a bunch of other stuff whacked out here. Let's go over to the milling room. So this is one set of the bucket end that I've got set together here. And then these are all my bosses and bushings and whatnot. So my PC-200, I repinned that thing, repinned and rebushed it year before last, I guess. And this is actually all this stuff here, with the exception of that there, came out of some of those pins. They were 90 mils and I needed 3 inches, so it worked out pretty good, except I ran into a couple pieces that looked like they had been case hardened. There was I wonder if this chunk here will show it at all. So this one I kind of machined hard, and you can, I don't know if you're going to see that in the light, but there's like left there's about 70 thou or so of case hardening on the perimeter. So probably induction hardened pins. You can see how ugly that looks on the outside. That was tough turning. And some of them were absolutely no problem at all. It was kind of weird. So I took some of that, stuck it in my wood stove, and annealed it. So that's one chunk there that I've got left to work with. Yeah, there's some plates there. Here's my setup in my mill. So I clamped these down on the table, ran a hole saw through the pairs to make them matched. Worked really good. And then as you saw in the other ones, I just sort of hacked out the rest of the circles, cut that out there too. Most of the cutting for these things, I actually used a skill saw with a metal cutting blade. Worked really, really well, surprisingly. Cutting at about 11 inches a minute, which I was pretty impressed with. So I needed some more material, so I pillaged some stuff off that old quick attach that I bought there. And I got to get a little bit more yet. So, oh yeah, I still got this slug in here. So this is some more than 90 mil material. Punched it out to 1 inch there, and the shafting on these pins here is, well, it's a 35-ish millimeter bushing, but the bushings are slightly oversized. So what ends up working out perfect is 1 3/8. So picked up a stick of that. Where is it? Oh yeah, leaning up in the corner here. So this is it, turned and ground. So it fits perfectly with those bushings with about 2-3 thou clearance, which will work out really good. So these all need to be bored out here yet. Not my biggest drill, but the biggest drill that is not over 1 3/8 is 1 inch. So those are punched out. One of these I did bore out already. That's that one there with the boring bar. So that's the project so far. Oh, almost. So there's a lot of extra round material here. And that's for the second part of the project. So bucket, and I have a few more pieces of these kicking around here somewhere. Oh yeah, duh, right here. So another few things. So I made extras for more buckets. Right now I have this bucket here, which is about 21 inches wide, I think, which is, I don't know, something in metric, probably 0.6 or something, 0.75 maybe, which is kind of too wide for trenching and too narrow for cleanup. So it's a good kind of compromise bucket, and it's, well, we've made do with it. I did pick up a 12-inch bucket along with that other lot of stuff at Ritchie Brothers, which is outside, so I'm not going to show it to you right now. But it's about 12 inches wide, and then I have plans to make a 4-foot wide cleanout bucket and a grading beam. And then the thing that is going to be awesome, I think, is I'm going to make a swivel coupler, like a twist wrist. And interestingly enough, I just bought one of those for my PC-200. We'll go out and take a quick look at that. Only because it's relevant right now. So this is the one for the PC-200, slightly different scale, as in it's huge compared to it. This is an Accurate Manufacturing Wristo Twist, they call it, and I think it's a slightly earlier version, because it has a single big ram in the back here, as opposed to the side-mounted ram there, which I've seen on their website lately. So this is going on the 200, but this is basically exactly what I'm making for the PC-35, except I'm going to do the ram on the side here for actuating instead of in the back, just so it doesn't hang out the back so far like this one does. So that's the plan right now. And I got some work to do on this thing here yet, which maybe I'll do another video about, but the guy I bought it from, I bought it kind of on Craigslist and sight unseen, and confirmed all the dimensions with the guy, sent him all mine in terms of the lugging size and spacing and whatnot to make sure it fit on my machine. Oh, yep, everything fits fine, but apparently this is slightly different. It's, what is it, 495 mils, and mine is 18 inch, so it's out by like 3/8 of an inch, about 10 mils, which doesn't work at all then on my machine. So I'm going to have to do something to make it fit on mine. So that'll be another project. I won't even talk about that now. But anyway, keep tuned. It's coming up. All right, that's it for now. We'll check in later.